Yo, welcome back to some more battles. We are in the open Great Lake today, and we're going to be using a different variation of the last team, Shadow Swampert with the Shadow Drapion and the Altaria. So kind of a throwback pick, and we are going to get our Drapion matchup onto their Jelly, which is favorable for us as we can get to these crunches pretty quickly and get them so low that maybe we don't even have to throw a fast move. A charge move. We end up having to throw the Aqua Tail, but that's going to be enough to get the back-to-back. And this will get their last shield or get the KO. And now we see the Bastiodon show up. This Bastiodon is going to tank the Aqua Tail easily, but now we have our Swampert to throw another Hydro, and it looks like they are within one Hydro. So this is going to get the KO or that shield. They decided to let it go, and ends up being the Claydol. Claydol here is going to be struggling against our Swampert with some energy. We luckily avoided the debuff, I believe, and we are going to be able to get to 2 Hydro Cannons. The second Hydro Cannon is enough to KO. So GG's Drapion. We did not even have to show our Altaria. That's just the core breaker from the Swampert, dealing enough damage to just wreck that backline. Another good lead here, and expecting them to switch out, and they go into the Blastoise. So Blastoise would have been a probably okay situation for our Swampert because we did have that energy lead. But we're going to go into our Altaria. This Altaria ends up having to shield once. Here comes another move. It's the Skull Bash, and they are going to be able to take us out. The rollouts did end up adding up. However, our opponent has enough energy to throw another Hydro here. We feel like this Swampert is going to be very valuable, so we expend our last shield, throw this Hydro, and it looks like the Mandibuzz is going to be very tanky. We need to get to like 3 Hydros, unfortunately. Looks like our opponent does get to a move. This Dark Pulse, huge damage, isn't enough to take us out, but you can see how low we are right now. Here comes another move. We have them potentially in farm down range, but they don't allow us to get that farm down, and our opponent is going to be able to get to multiple Mud Bombs. We get to 2 Aqua Tails at least. Unfortunately, 1 Aqua Tail doesn't KO, and they still have a shield. In hindsight, we actually thought it was Feraligatr that decided to swap in, but Blastoise is probably worst case scenario given that they were running the rollout. But in hindsight, we probably wanted Drapion. Okay, they swap out into their Gligar, and this is another reason why Altaria could be interesting. We are going to be able to tank these aerial aces quite nicely, but also dealing a lot of fast move pressure. We finally get to a move here. This will get the shield or get the KO. They decided to let it go, and we have left this Altaria with, a sliver of health. We're going to swap out here, and we actually get the matchup we actually want. Drapion onto their Drifloon, favorable for us. We're going to shield here, even though this is going to debuff us. Looks like they might have to shield here, because, yeah, they're trying to keep their Drifloon pretty healthy. This is not a Shadow Drifloon, so it looks like we are going to get the switch out situation. We reset the debuffs and everything, and now we can just throw some energy back at this Dedenne. Down goes the Dedenne, and now we're going to have energy to throw another Hydro back at this Drifloon. They are able to survive that Hydro, and we're just going to go into our Altaria deal some Dragon Breath damage and then get them in range for the KO. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the combination of our Swampert and Altaria right there. The core is going to be Swampert and Altaria, and Drapion is just our general safe swap. So against Gastro here, we are going to be able to outpace him to some moves, but we all know they are pretty bulky. We are going to let this one go. Ends up only being the body slam, but they decide to catch the move onto their Blastoise. So another Blastoise to deal with. We're going to flip our Drapion into the situation because we think that we can potentially get this crunch and farm down. Yeah. So that's not bad considering what we had to deal with earlier. Here comes another body slam, and now we have a great situation with the Altaria into Gastro. It just depends on what they have in the back, and there it is. Ends up being another flyer. The flyer being the Talon. We are resisting their fast moves, and Altaria able to win that game right there, which is pretty much what we want to display is against the potential Driplums. Actually, Driplum with some energy might be terrible, but against the Talonflame, pretty solid. Mandibuzz is okay. So Altaria, not bad right now. We have the Dene switch in. We're gonna stay in with our Swampert, mainly because we are dealing a lot of fast move damage and we can get to these moves. Unfortunately, we lose the cap tie right there, so that was unfortunate. And then we know that they win the cap tie, but we are going to fire off another move, take out the Dene. Our opponent is going to have the Beedrill come back in, fire off the X Scissor, and now we have the Altaria, and now we have the matchup we want. Drapion onto their Jelly. We know this is a great matchup for us. We can just tank this, no problem. Shadow Ball is used. Pretty decent damage, but it is taking a lot of energy. Here comes another move. This serve takes us out. And now we're going to farm down with an Altaria and then try to get to the Sky Attack to take out this Beedrill. Beedrill doesn't have any moves that we really have to worry about. And just like that, we are going to get to the Sky Attack and take out the Beedrill. So GG's to our opponents. Pretty interesting team. Check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.